Hello once again. This is Tom Trento on WNN 1470. And that's if you're listening in your automobile on a beautiful Monday afternoon in Florida, the 29th. It's almost the end of the month, the 29th of April 2013. And if you're in the quietness of your office, are you watching us in your office? Make sure the computer is turned so that your boss cannot see it, unless you've gotten approval, which you should have gotten, to watch TrentoVision.tv in your office, because I guarantee you what we're doing is infinitely more important than what your boss wants you to do, okay? So remember that. Hi, everybody. Good to be here with you. And before we get into the issues of the day, and there are many, and the issues of last week, and there are many, I had one of those very sweet moments over the weekend. And, we do some crazy work here at the United West, a counter-jihad, counter-terrorism educational organization where we literally fight ideologically and sometimes confront on the street the Muslim Brotherhood and their thugs. It gets a little testy at times, this kind of work, particularly if you're in another country or in another country within this country, like Dearborn or parts of New York or California. So it is most enjoyable to savor sweet moments in life when they come around. And you got to be able to not only laugh at how absurd life could be at times, particularly this jihad, Islamic jihad issue. And as you know, here on TrentoVision, we try to make jihad fun. But you got to be able to enjoy what the essence of life is about. Family, friends, all of that. And over the weekend, I took a little time off. I went by myself up to the Orlando area. And I had made contact, actually through all the work we're doing. We have a pretty high profile on the internet. Made contact with a friend of mine that I worked with almost over 30 years ago. We were like little kids together working, and we developed a very close relationship back then. Another Italian guy, and worked together a couple of years. And in fact, I had given him a Bible back in those days. And through the internet, we made a connection. And I was able to, they live somewhere in Florida. I'm not going to tell you their names. We don't want to burden them with being friends of ours here, of me. But they drove in from another place in Florida. We met in Orlando and spent a really beautiful afternoon together. Hung out, did a few things, talked, caught up. And it was one of these kinds of moments where, I literally haven't seen this guy in 30 years, where it's like you've never left. It's just, and it looks like the movie artisans and artists came in and made both of us look a little older, but the real people were there. And we just had a wonderful, wonderful time. And we're not gonna let 30 years get in the way again. So for those of you who say, I gotta go see that friend or that family member, do it. Just I try to follow a do it now philosophy in my life. To do what you're supposed to do it now. Do that and savor these very sweet moments in life with friends. And he had his wife there, whom I hadn't met. And it was like we had been family members. It was just a wonderful time. So if they're watching, hi guys, I absolutely loved it. It was wonderful, and we will do it again. So you have moments like that in your life, CJ, with your friends?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
And I'm so booked now in May.
You're so booked. 20 years ago,
you're going to have to let me off work early, like every day, that I could see everybody I have to catch up with.
A few years back, in an effort to do just that, I threw a party because, you run around with all this kind of work. I threw a party called it Festa de Trento, It was an Italian party. First year there were 100 people. Next year 300 people.
Mm-hmm. And did you know all of those
I said,
people?
No.
No, they brought their friends.
They brought their friends and their friends and their friends. But it was good because you spend 4 or 5 hours together and you do get but the problem was when there's 300 people, a bunch of them are your friends and you have 30 seconds apiece. They all want to sit down with you and talk for hours.
That's why I'm taking like a full evening with everybody.
Yes, that's good. That's the good way to do it. But friends are important, and if you have family, that's very important too. So see, we do the soft things in life. We do the easy, nice things in life.
Absolutely, we do. We should do some of that after work today.
Just not the crazy stuff. Yeah, we do regular stuff. There is crazy stuff out there. One of the crazy things that's taking place right now is in the state of Florida at 6 minutes after 5 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, 29 April 2013, WNN. NN, we call it. We make it short, NN.
Yeah.
WNN
Takes 1470. Too long to say W.
W. It's just a weird letter. W.
W.
You don't
That's
see
why
double
everybody
T.
called him W.
W, yeah. Double T, double R's, double Q's, double U's, whatever. Because there's 2 U's that look together. That's how the W came. You know that. Did you know that? You didn't know
Why
that.
isn't it double V?
Yes, double V. We do all those things. Well, there's a weird thing going on in the state of Florida, and we've spoken about this quite a bit. The ALAC, for our friends and viewers and listeners out there, ALAC, American Laws for American Courts. It is simply a piece, it's a bill that will become law if it goes through all the hurdles in the state of Florida. Florida will be the 6th state. There are 5 other states, Arizona, Tennessee, Kansas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma. They have passed ALAC. The world didn't end, all you naysayers out there. American Laws for American Courts is designed, American Laws, I'm over here, American Laws for American Courts is designed to, you got to stay on this. American Laws for American Courts is designed to provide state and federal constitutional protection for people who come from another country. There's 200 of them, become a citizen in the United States, therefore are the beneficiaries of our U.S. Constitution and our state constitutions. And if indeed there's a conflict with the Mumbai, India law or Italian law or Swiss law or German law or Islamic law or any kind of law, the prevailing set of principles, the prevailing code of law, the prevailing doctrines are the United States doctrines. Pretty simple, because you're now a United States citizen. And when you take the oath of naturalization, you abjure, you reject all potentates, all kings, all legislative beliefs. All that stuff goes away, and you're a new person. You're an American. Therefore, you should be ruled, or you should have the right, you do have the right, to allow American law to pop soda cans in here, to allow American laws to rule and have jurisdiction in your life. Well,
which is the whole point of being here to begin with, isn't it?
I would think so. Well, everything was going swimmingly well. It passed through the House Bill 351. Then at the Senate, had a couple little hurdles, but it went through, I think, 3 committees, which was unheard of. There's usually not 3 committees. Then we have a question CJ. We have a question CJ for Senator Don Gates.
Gates.
Gates. Yeah, Gates. I don't know. He's not making us happy, many of us.
What is his deal?
He is the Senate president, so he's the big poobah. Mm-hmm. And he has a son who is in the House, on the other side, House of Representatives. And his son, Matt, not only voted for American Laws for American Courts, House Bill 351, but he wanted to sponsor the bill, right?
Okay.
Now, the father has been saying all along, Senate President Don Gates, saying, oh, yeah, I'm for this. But last week, in an unexpected move, the Senate president, who has the capability to move it out of a rules committee and put it to the full floor for a vote, has decided, for whatever reasons, not to do that. And I know the legislative process is a little complex. We'll make it very simple for our viewers and listeners. Politics, folks. There seems to be some political motivation going on here. We've heard that many Jewish people are opposed to this because
they don't know what's in it.
They don't know what's in it. They don't know that it doesn't affect.
And the Muslims told us to oppose it.
Yeah, exactly. The Muslims are running around. Where's that flyer? We have a flyer. I left it out. We are offering, the United West, we're offering $25,000 to anybody. $25,000. Where are we going to get $25,000?
We don't need it.
We don't need it. That's right. We're offering $25,000 to anybody who can find the word Sharia, Islam, or Muslim in the House Bill 351 or Senate Bill 58. It's not there, folks. This doesn't single out a particular religion whatsoever. All it does is enhance constitutional rights for the person. Oh, there's a little reward thing. But here's an even better living, breathing. This is one of the ones that our guys were up in Tallahassee handing out the other day. $25,000 reward. $25,000 reward. We'll go to that camera there. Put it on that camera. If you can find it, you can make yourself a quick $25,000. So we got a couple of questions for Senator Gates, who's starting to look like Senator Herodopoulos. Do you remember that?
It's just ridiculous. I want to know who's putting pressure on him. Who's in his ear? His own committees approved it.
This committee's approved it, and then it went into the Rules Committee where it's sort of.
And does he have a majority?
Yes, there's a majority.
The issue for not doing it is what? If you know you're going to win?
I smell a Grover in the house.
Oh, a Grover Norquist.
I smell a Grover in the house.
You know, we can't rule that out by any means. Grover Norquist is absolutely opposed to this bill. Grover Norquist, for those of you who don't know,
he's a shill for the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, he a shill. He's a front man, a coordinator, a champion of the Brotherhood. Very close friend of Abdul Rahman al-Amoudi, who's in jail right now. Worked with him, started an organization with him. He was involved with Sami al-Arian, who's a convicted terrorist right now.
And according to 60 Minutes, the most powerful man in the Republican Party. And I tend to agree with 60 Minutes on that one.
Grover's been a conservative Republican for 35 years. Started a tax organization, American Taxpayers, I forget the last name. But and he has the legislators on the Hill in Washington sign a pledge: no new taxes, no raising of taxes, and he's been a power broker in Washington. He of the past 8-10 years, actually since 9/11, he's been even before that in the Bush administration, very involved with the Muslim Brotherhood, and he's going around and befriending governors and leaders in the Republican Party to insulate them against these sort of things. Now, we heard Rick Scott came out in favor of this, so we are very confused, to say the least. But we got some questions for the good senator. And the good senator, Senator Gates.
Does the good senator want to get reelected?
Would you have a picture of the good senator somewhere?
Oh, I just brought up Grover for you.
Oh, there's Grover Norquist right there. The good senator.
Do you have him with his wife?
No, I don't. I have seen his wife. His wife's a Muslim. A very attractive woman, works for the United States government as a consultant, contracted out to lead soirees to the Middle East, to bring business with Muslim money together with U.S. Government money and all of these things. The good senator, Don Gates, is a good guy. His seat is very secure. He's in one of those districts where he'll be, there until he's
forever.
Term limited out. And he's most probably going to be the Senate president again next year. His son is on the House side, a legislator. He graduated Senator Gates, and if you're watching on TrentoVision.tv at 15 minutes after 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you can see the senator, screen left. He studied and did his BA in politics, and guess what else? religion. He's a Christian, he's a Lutheran, so he understands politics and religion. He's on about 47 boards, one of which is the Salvation Army. So he sits on the Salvation Army's board. And the Salvation Army are Christian missionaries, basically, who go out to raise funds to help people in distress. And you see them all over the place whenever there's a disaster.
Ring the bell.
They ring the bell at Christmas time to raise money. If we got a picture of anybody,
That's where
from the
I always
Salvation
make
Army.
my donations to,
Right
because I
there.
know they do good work.
Yeah, if you ever see them, they wear a uniform because they're in the Army of God, the Salvation Army, and it says SS on their. They have a pin that says SS. Not the
That
Nazi.
doesn't make me feel very good.
That doesn't really give me a warm
You
fuzzy
just
there,
made
Tom.
Schmucky Putznick a little
Very
nervous.
nervous.
No, this is a good SS. You see how the bad guys can ruin two letters? This means saved to serve. So they're Christians who God has saved, and they believe they've been saved in life to serve others. So they go out to serve others. And Don Gates, Senator Gates, is on that board. He, of all people, should understand that there are some religious legal systems, and there's African religions that are very, very bizarre, that, and even Western religions, that mitigate or lessen. There we go. There's a Salvation Army guy. Looks like a Home Depot guy. That mitigate the constitutional rights of people. And ALAC, American Laws for American Courts, which is now law in how many states? 5 states. Usually protects women and children from abusive husbands in a divorce that want to deny the women and children their U.S. constitutional or Florida constitutional rights. And we've seen case after case of this. There's about 20 or 30 cases from a variety of countries that have been problems in the state of Florida. All this law is doing is correcting that. We don't know, Senator Gates, why you are blocking this, but you are blocking it almost independently at this point, and we ask you, please, and we're going to carry this on for the rest of the week.
Well, and here's the point, Tom. There's no valid reason for him to block it. I mean, at least give us a reason for why you're blocking it so we can, give at least a decent argument back. And that's
Mum's
He
the word,
he's
right?
No, he's not doing it because obviously he wants it to die. He wants it to
Of
go
course.
away during this session.
Because look, folks, here's how it works. See this? This is the ALAC bill in the Senate. He has it on his desk. All he has to do is put it over here. And then the full 40 senators vote. And right now, 23 of them are going to vote yes. They've already said, we're voting for this. It's going to pass. It passed on the House side. The governor will sign it. It's law. So call and email Senator Don Gates, Gaetz. And you can just Google it, and you'll see a bunch of noise about this in the state of Florida. Very, very important. And Friday is the last day of our session in the state of Florida. We have a 2-month, 3-month session.
And for those
It's over.
people who might not feel the urgency, what happens if it doesn't pass this year?
If it does not pass this year, then there's a considerable hole in the law where women from other countries are not going to be able to enjoy the rights that they should because they've become citizens. But there's no recourse to go against their husbands who are ruling over them with an iron fist. Because these laws are going to be recognized from the other states. So women and children are going to have serious problems over the next year. And, the liberals should be voting for this, but I don't, who knows where they are in this. And then, we can come back. This is the 3rd year in a row. Last year it was going to pass. Mike Herodopoulos, the last day of the session, did the same thing because he was fighting with a colleague and didn't want to honor the colleague's bill. So this is a bunch of baloney. You try to do the right thing. We all try to get involved, and then the politics start coming into play. That's why people get upset with politicians.
The irony of this whole bill is that it is designed to protect women, especially in Islamic women, in their horrid situations that they are trapped upon inside the Islamic marriage rules and such, where they have no property rights, where they have no legal rights over their children, where they have nothing to which to come out of.
Yep. And it's not, I mean, it certainly includes Islamic.
It includes that.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Right.
doesn't even mention anything about. I
No,
mean,
I'm just
that's
saying
not
we're
even the point of it.
anti-Islamic. We are actually
Yeah.
pro, Islamic women. In
Pro
that
women
case.
Islamic, yeah, in that case. But I've seen Norwegian laws, cases in Florida where Norwegian law in a guy who was fishing and was penalized because he didn't have the right. It was a bizarre case, but it was there was a video, an 8-minute expose of how Norwegian law resulted in an American citizen being fined because there wasn't protections in the statute in the state of Florida. Norwegian law on a fishing issue. So there's a hole in our jurisprudential structure. All this does is fix it. And we'd have to try it again next year. But Gates may be the president again next year. So
Well, I love your analogy, Tom. All he has to do is take it from the outbox
To the inbox.
to the inbox, and that's all he has to do. He doesn't have to come out in support of it. He doesn't say, hey, yay,
He can
or
vote
nay.
against it if he
He can
wants
vote
to.
against it if he wants to.
Yeah.
He just has to take it from the outbox and put it to the inbox.
methinks something
There's-
smells here.
He's
Yes,
walking
it
a
does.
tightrope. He's walking a tightrope to not anger anyone in the state. He doesn't want to lose any votes over it. He knows he's not going to gain any votes either way he votes. So basically, he's trying not to lose votes.
Well, I
Yeah,
disagree.
well,
I smell a Grover thing.
What a great
And,
way to be a statesman. I don't want to lose any votes.
It's
so,
like voting present without having to vote at all.
Yeah, and for a guy with the credentials that Senator Gates has, we expect much more than that.
Yes,
from
we
him.
don't
This is
want him
not
to be the
what we
Herodopolis.
I hate to say it, but this
We have a
is not what
Herodopolis
we
picture?
expect from Christians.
No, not at all. Not at all. There's Herodopoulos. What is he doing? He's attending bar nowadays?
He's having a drink.
He's
Yeah.
at TGIF having a good time.
There you go. Yo, Mike, what's up? You screwed up last year, Mike.
Oh, he screwed up big time.
Big time.
I mean, he is
All over anger.
Forever is he, on our.
He's pretty much finished. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's finished.
Yeah, he's out. I don't
Yeah.
know what he's doing.
And we don't want that to happen to Mr. Gates.
So, ladies, let's do this. On TrentoVision here, WNN 1470 on the radio, theunitedwest.org. Here's what we'll do. And we have done this before at times. If you are a woman from a foreign country, and any country, and you are in the midst of a divorce where your husband is going to abuse your rights because ALAC isn't protecting you in the state of Florida, and your laws from your country may give him 100% of whatever money's there, or 100% control of the kids, and you think that's unfair, and you have a written decree from the country you're at in terms of the marriage agreement, call us up, okay? Get us involved. We will come, we will assist, we will raise money, we'll do whatever we need to do to help you protect your rights that you would have had if this law passed, but that you don't have now. Contact Tom at TrentoVision.tv, and we will be there assisting you. And that goes for anybody. We know there are enough people in the state of Florida willing to help individuals like you. And if you're from a Muslim family, we don't hate Muslims. We'll help you stand against your abusive husband, which is probably why you're divorcing the guy in the first place. And then he can go hang out with his other 3 wives. Then you can get on with your American life and enjoy it, maybe for the first time.
Good grief.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Hi, CJ. Welcome back.
Hi.
Abdullah, we missed you last week.
I missed you, my favorite group of infidels.
Yes. And
Very
Mike,
much
how are
missing.
you, Invisible Mike?
I'm doing well, thank you.
And the disembodied voice of Mark. You are back.
I am re-embodied.
He's re-embodied.
Man, the whole
the
gang.
fabulous Bunker
Let's give
Boys
the
are back.
gang a hand. Round of applause. This is the first time everybody's been together. in
Where is your angry Jew?
Yeah, I don't know where that is, where you are, where he is, where she is. But last week,
where she is.
last week, as we know,
Just think if
last
I'm
week
listening.
we had a scheduled investigative expose way before Boston popped, And Boston was on the 15th, tax day. We'll never forget that, Patriot Day, that whole week.
Patriots Day.
Then the following week, the 22nd, we had scheduled a 5-part investigative series into the diabolical firm organization called
SPLC.
yes, Southern Filthy Rich Law Center, Southern Poverty Law Center out of Montgomery, Alabama. And man, everybody did a bang-up job. Let me tell you, we nailed it on that series. If I remember it all, Tony Perkins from Family Research Council started out, gave us an overview. Peter Sprigg the next day, Tuesday, in-depth look at one of the pro-family issues that FRC deals with, marriage between a man and a woman. Third day, we had Jerry Boykin, General Jerry Boykin, and Dave Raboy on the Muslim Brotherhood and the SPLC working in cahoots, the SPLC running interference for the Brotherhood. We noticed that there is not one Islamic organization that we know are unindicted co-conspirators listed on the SPLC's hate list. Thursday, we had
I guess they're all peaceful then.
Charlotte Allen, who is a freelance writer who did an investigative report into their finances. $250 million, $30 million a year. And then on Friday, we had Ken Klukowski from Family Research Council. He runs the Religious Liberty Division, and Andrea Lafferty from American Traditional Values Coalition. Traditional Values Coalition.
Yeah,
Andrea's
and they were
old
next
friend.
on the list.
That
Best
is weird.
targets.
Floyd
Yeah.
Lee Corkins,
Holy cow.
after he was going to kill all the employees at FRC, 50, 60, 70 of them. He was on his way to Traditional Values Coalition. Their office is not very far away. He was going to kill Andrea Lafferty. Why was he going to kill anybody?
Why was he going to kill
Yeah, where did he get the
anybody?
information to kill
He got
people?
the information from the SPLC's list of hate groups in the United States. And he says, oh, these people don't support a radical homosexual agenda. I guess I'll just have to go kill them and smother their faces with Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
And he was a homosexual activist.
I don't see how that gets your agenda passed, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
and then we made we explained the fact that we, the United West, are on the hate list of the Southern Poverty Law Center under anti-Muslim.
That is because you are an Islamophobe.
Phobe.
Yes, well, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump for a self-radicalized. Don't anybody ever use that word in here, okay? We're gonna put battery cables on parts of your body if you use the term self-radicalized. It's a nonsensical term, but it's only hop, skip, and a jump for a jihadi who is going to go kinetic, going to go operational, go offensive to say, hey, let me start with the SPLC's list of anti-Muslim groups. Hey, I'm in Florida. There's that Florida group, the United West. Let's go take them out. And they get their direction, their motivation, and their encouragement from Southern Poverty Law Center. Now, we've said the individual bears the responsibility for his actions, but there's some connection to SPLC with their fraudulent. I don't know. Do they have any criteria for identifying hate groups other than a group they don't
Anybody
like?
who doesn't like their own agenda.
So stupid. How stupid can this be? So in any event, we did that whole week, and what I want to do is sum up the week with a short video that General Boykin did. You got that one queued up, Damon?
Give me one second.
Boykin new piece. He did this the other day. What we did is this. Our investigative 5-part series starting on the 22nd, going through the 26th, was all geared for today, the 29th. Because today, the 29th, Floyd Lee Corkins, shooter, was going to be sentenced in Washington, D.C. under the first conviction of a domestic terrorist in the District of Columbia. Historic. He was going to be sentenced today, but as a result of Boston, his defense attorneys got him some space, and his
Little breathing
sentencing.
room.
Yeah, his sentencing will be in June. So, so last week, Thursday, Friday, some footage was released showing a couple of things. Showing part of the interview, Floyd Lee Corkins, with the two FBI agents, where Corkins says, yep, SPLC, that's where I got the information. And then FRC, Family Research Council, where the shooting was, released a video of the shooting. We're going to show you both right now. In a second, we're going to show you both. And what happened as a result of releasing this footage to the press. You can imagine the inundation of the press calling Family Research Council last week, and Tony Perkins, the president, and General Jerry Boykin, the executive vice president, and others doing interview after interview after interview. Well, this is a fascinating interview where General Boykin takes the Fox News reporter into the lobby to show you exactly where the bullet holes are in the carpet and in the walls. And we're going to show that.
Get ready to go camera 4.
In a second here.
Get ready to go camera 4. What?
Video from Family Research Council in the district. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm
Volume
Sean
up a
Nancy.
little,
And I'm
Damon.
Brian Bolter. 8 months after Floyd Corkins II opened fire at the council's headquarters, new video of the shooting has been released to the public.
Also released tonight, closed-door conversations between the FBI and Corkins. Fox 5's Audrey Barnes joins us now with the story. Audrey.
Sean, Leo Johnson didn't have a gun when Floyd Lee Corkins walked in last August, and even after a bullet went through his arm, he didn't give up and is credited with saving dozens of lives.
Well, what we're looking at is one of the bullet holes here in the carpet, ricocheted off the carpet and hit over here, and then we've got another bullet hole right here.
The executive vice president of the Family Research Council, Jerry Boykin, shows us evidence left behind from the violent confrontation between security guard Leo Johnson, who was not armed, and Floyd Corkins, who walked in from the street with murder on his mind.
Leo Johnson standing here and Floyd Lee Corkins firing a shot literally this close to his head, and this is the actual bullet hole here.
And now, for the first time, you get to see actual surveillance video of Johnson taking down the convicted shooter.
Leo gets up, walks around the counter just as Floyd Lee Corkins pulls out a pistol, a 9mm, and shoots at Leo, missing him by probably no more than an inch.
But another bullet from Corkins' 9mm semi-automatic pistol goes through Johnson's forearm.
And you see Leo with his one good arm wrestle him to the ground and take his pistol away from him.
Now that Corkins has pleaded guilty to 3 counts, including domestic terrorism while armed, Boykin says they released the video as a bit of closure. But he says there's still some unfinished business with the Southern Poverty Law Center, which led Corkins to their doorstep.
Well, I blame Floyd Corkins, the shooter, for the shooting. He made that choice. But he admitted, and that's what the tape shows, he admitted that he targeted us because we were listed as a hate group on the Southern Poverty Law Center's website.
Boykin says they're still labeled a hate group today on the Southern Poverty Law Center's website, but that's not what they're all about.
We hope that people will understand that we as an organization are here to stand for traditional American values, and we're not here to be a hate group.
As for Leo Johnson, Boykin says he's recovering from his second surgery and making slow but steady progress.
2 weeks ago, Leo went back in and had some bone grafts, and so he's still at home convalescing. But his attitude is great, and he's just a delight to have in the building. And I'll just say again, he's a very brave man that could have easily been killed.
We made several attempts to get a comment from the Southern Poverty Law Center, but have been unsuccessful. Floyd Corkins will be sentenced in about 4 to 6 weeks. Prosecutors want a 45-year sentence. And coming up tonight at 11, you'll hear Floyd Corkins in his conversations with the FBI about why he targeted the Family Research Council. Back to you.
All right.
Good grief.
That was a good.
That was
hello?
a good report.
Yeah, that was a very, very good summation, and that's our summation for the SPLC situation. We're going to keep our eyes on it. We kind of exploded the the organization. I mean, many people. We got many emails, and
A lot of people are shocked because they still have this image of the SPLC as a civil rights group, you know, back in the 60s fighting for the little guy who can't get justice in the South. And that was real in this country at that time. But that's not what they're about now.
what was? Let me ask you guys, because last week we were on a kind of a very tight format. You guys didn't jump in too much by design. What was your thinking on SPLC? Had you ever been familiar with it at all?
Yeah. I've known about them for years and kind of looked into their stuff. And I didn't realize how liberal they were, though. I can tell you that. I mean, last week really opened my eyes.
Liberal in what sense? What do you mean?
Liberal in the sense in that they're so radically left-wing and that to qualify for a hate group, all you have to do is be towards the center.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you don't even have to be all the way to the right. I mean, if you disagree with them, you're a hate group.
You're a hate group.
And the shocking and disturbing part is that our U.S. Army is co-opting these hardcore left liberals. Yeah. And listen, as a civil rights group, they could do what they want.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the government co-opting them and having the U.S. military adopt the same qualifications and verbatim, I mean, it looked like they just hit copy and paste out of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and that's crazy.
That's what we have to shut down for sure. The connection
between the SPLC and the government is actually what we're after.
Yeah, and the good guys
at the federal, state, and
local level. And guys like Boykin, General Boykin, 36 years, head of Delta Force, all this stuff. He's not allowed to brief law enforcement, military, or intelligence agencies. He's not allowed to do that, right?
But the SPLC does.
They can. You know, guy who spent Morris D's low life that he is, and Mark Potak, another low life. I mean, these are really low life guys.
Are we doing the Mark Potak wigs for Halloween?
I
by any
think
chance?
it's a good idea. Yeah, you look good in it, I think. They can go in and they can tell the Army and they can tell the Navy and the Marines and CIA, oh yeah, here's a hate group, you got to watch them. Oh, look out, you know. Trento and the gang are really dangerous people. But General Boykin can't go in and say, hey, you know, these guys are really a problem.
I have been excluded from that section of your organization, shall we say. They said everyone but Imam Abdullah.
Yes, Imam Abdullah. You're cool.
I am good.
You're cool.
You are the haters,
he does a lot of work behind the scenes.
All right, now coming...
Can I bring up something about that whole
SPLC
movement? Looking at them, and initially you get angry, but then you start looking at it, and all they simply are is like that tarot card reader. They say something. I'm serious. They say something, and you fill in the blanks where you want to go with your beliefs. If you just say Tom Trento is anti-Muslim hate group, you imagine whatever you want to imagine, because they never ever give specifics. There's never a qualification on what they mean. So they just throw it out there, and they get people all riled up, and then they give money to them just like you would a tarot card reader.
Except for one thing that I'll add to what you're saying, Mark, is they don't just throw it out there without backing it up. They throw it out there, they don't back it up, and they give you a bullseye map.
Right.
So that you can go pursue these individuals or these organizations which the SPLC lists.
And one step further is if you try and contact them for comment or explanation,
they won't answer you.
They won't answer.
No way.
Yeah, because...
Why? Have you tried to do that?
Yes, 3 times.
Have you been contacted back?
None times.
None times. And if you notice, Boykin... with all the media, we were following the media in Washington with all the release of all this. Every news agency from Fox National to local affiliates, you have to, out of professional responsibility, you got to go to the other side and say, what do you guys think of this?
Right.
No comment. We're not talking.
Tom,
you know.
I told him we were doing a 5-day expose on them. Could they please provide someone to give us their side of what they do or to
Well,
comment on
they
anything.
They don't have to. They're a money-making fundraising machine.
Let's call them up tomorrow.
They got a $250 million war chest with
They're
which they
invulnerable.
can crush any opposition to what their agenda is, which is making more money apparently.
They probably, when people call like us, they have their
They're
phone
like,
system.
Oh, little ants. Let's
I was going to
just
say they
squish
take out a
them.
revolver and just shoot the phone and laugh about it.
Except for they don't
They
have
don't
any
have revolvers.
guns.
Hey, Tom, you know what I'd like to do?
What?
I would like to put that $25,000 reward out there for them to prove that we are a hate group because they kept giving us zero any type of documentation.
Yeah, well, yeah, we would need some objective criteria, and they can never, of course.
Because I've tried to
nonsensical.
contact them myself. Please give us some type of documentation how you have listed us as a hate group and why. And give us specifics, give us times, dates, whatever that we have said.
Well, wait a minute.
I just
Wait
broke
a
the code.
minute.
Go ahead,
Wait
go
a
ahead, go
minute.
ahead.
Who is the SPLC in the first place to determine what the guidelines are
Yeah,
for
exactly.
what
Right.
and who a hate group is in the first
That's
place?
absurd on its face. Go ahead. Yeah, well, I think I broke the code. I think they have like 1,600 hate groups now, and we know probably 10 or 20 of the groups. Bare Naked Islam. I don't think Act for America is on it, but some of the folks we know, I think Pamela Geller's on it. So excluding the 20 people we know, and then let's say another 80, excluding 100, that's 1,500. I bet you this is the scam. They tell a group, go get a post office box, go get, print up these flyers, hand out these flyers. We're going to identify you as a hate group. We're going to raise, because we've been doing this for 40 years, we're going to raise $1.4 million to fight your group. We know your group really doesn't even exist, but you're going to get 30% of whatever we raise for you being a phony baloney hate group. And the guy goes, okay, we're in, all right, Ma, yeah, Pa. And they got a beautiful scam going on.
It's a scam. It's like I said, it's a tarot card reader.
It's
scam.
a multi-level marketing hate campaign. Man, it's beautiful. We need to do something like that in love. Find out all the love organizations.
And here's the funny
No funding in love.
There's no funding in love.
And here's the funny thing about it. If you take SPLC's own guidelines by how they determine a hate group, they themselves are a hate group.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
we have been real careful, technically and tactically, to not call them a hate group, because what is hate? I mean, once you start talking
That's
about
a
hate,
stupid thing to say anyway. It's like everybody's a hater, a phobe of something,
I got
a homophobe, an
I got one.
Islamophobe,
got one
whatever phobe. Oh no, don't call me anything bad.
I'm a phobophobe.
Well, not only is it that bizarre, but
So
for
stupid.
those of us
What
fighting,
a country of wimps we have turned
well,
into where we're.
I got something better.
Oh my gosh.
I got something too, Mike. I got something really that'll drive you crazy. But before I give you that,
But first.
but first, you maybe
a
forget
message
what I
from
did.
our sponsor.
Um,
Oh no, we don't have
I
one.
forgot.
We need donations.
But here's the thing
sorry.
that's driving me crazy right
okay.
now. And Diana West wrote on this and triggered my mind to do some thinking on this.
Okay.
Boston Strong. Have you seen that? Boston Strong. Have you seen that?
No.
No.
Boston Strong?
No.
Oh, the new. I don't know if it was something that existed before the bombing, or if it only was initiated as a result of the bombing. In either case, the bombing has accelerated the concept, the branding, the messaging. Boston Strong. Now, wherever you look, they have shirts, Boston Strong. They have signs, Boston Strong, bumper stickers. And
At a new brand of like lemonade?
No. What it means is, you want to blow us up? Well, we'll show you. We are strong. We're
Oh,
Boston
okay.
Strong.
Okay. I get it. All right.
So you want to try to blow us up? We're Boston Strong. And if you blow us up again, we're Boston Stronger. And
They're gonna release Whitey Bulger on you.
and then if you blow us up a third time, we're Boston Strongest. because we're strong. We're Boston strong. That's what we are. We're strong.
That's a nice slogan, but what are they actually going to do about it?
Well, that was Diana West's point. She said, what is the absurdity of, you're looking at an Islamic jihad, 1,400 years in propulsion, insinuating itself into the West, conquering virtual cities in Europe, moving into the United States, killing, destroying ideologically and now kinetically, and your response is, we'll stand against this. We're strong.
Right.
As opposed to saying, are you out of your minds?
Are you out
We're
of your
going to
mind?
crush you like an elephant crushes a fly. No, we're strong. We can take whatever you throw at us because we're Boston and we're strong.
Yeah.
It is a
We'll send
motto
our-
of defeat
we'll
is
send
what
our,
it is.
Yeah, we'll send our heroes into the streets to pick up the limbs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
help the survivors.
Yep.
But we won't do a damn thing to defend ourselves from it happening in the first place.
Go to my screen, Mike.
I was thinking about that night of that the chase of Jokar.
Yes.
Okay, I'm thinking about all the residents who had to stay in their homes for hours and hours and hours the whole day because this guy is loose in their
Mike,
neighborhood.
right there.
And I'm thinking to myself, I bet none of these people have guns in their house because that's kind of the makeup of the state and that particular area. And I wonder how many people are sitting in their houses right now thinking to themselves, what am I going to do when this terrorist comes running through my living room, attack him with a steak knife? How am I going to defend my family?
Or if they had a gun, they have 7 bullets in the clip, and if you notice, the cops expended hundreds of rounds fighting 2 guys,
Right.
hundreds of rounds.
Right.
But everybody can have 7 to 10 bullets in their house.
Yeah, but your average citizen
they're
is probably a better
probably gonna
shot than
get
your average
sued
police
for it.
officer,
They're
right?
probably going to get sued for it by somebody for violating the terrorists'
Hey,
civil
Tom.
rights.
Well, go to this thing. Yeah, Mark, go ahead.
Yeah. Before you go out to that, something's been really troubling me for the last week on this whole thing, and I've been itching to talk about
On the bomber deal?
Yes, on the bomber deal. Is they keep coming out and saying how this guy's crazy, how this guy's
Of
how
course.
this guy's this, how this I go he's not crazy. He is not wacko. He's not like a Columbine thing where the guy just whacks out.
I heard a CIA official, retired, say, this is more like Columbine, the 2 kids
Right,
shooting,
right.
than Al-Qaeda.
This is not like the thing that happened up in Connecticut. And when they come out and they say, oh, well, he was just a normal kid in school. Yeah, because he's not crazy. He is
That's right.
He's following a set of logical beliefs which lead to this. To give you an example, he believes that he's a 9/11 truther, which means that 9/11 didn't happen.
Or if it did happen, it was the
Jews
Jews who
did
did it.
Everybody knows it was the Jews.
But
Please.
that's not a crazy belief. He has a set of beliefs which are endorsed by Islamic experts throughout the world who have been stamped seal of approval. This is Islam. It's like Bin Laden. Bin Laden is not a crazy man. He has
Well, he's a dead man right now.
Well, what I'm trying to say is he's following a set of logical beliefs
Absolutely.
dictated by it. It'd be as if you said, not if you were a Nazi, you were crazy. No,
Right.
you're
Well,
not
this
crazy.
leads-
Well, maybe
leads-
he has. Maybe they have Islam derangement syndrome or something
Well,
like
no,
that.
this
IDS.
leads right to the screen, Mike. Come to this screen. This was the email that we sent out today, TrentoVision United West. Monday, April 29th, 2013, 5 to 6. It's 5:50. We just the clock is ticking away right
Tick
now.
tock, tick tock.
In South Florida on WNN 1470, TrentoVision.tv, iHeartRadio. Hello, Tea Party. Hi. We keep making sure we got to see our Tea Party folks out there, Tim and everybody else. Here's the flyer we sent out. This is our segue day, our springboard day, back to our normal national security work.
I'm so happy.
We put down Boston, Israel, Syria, Canada. What is the connecting fiber or tissue in all the upheaval, all the diabolical horror taking place in these places. It's Islamic Jihad, stupid. And, there it is right there. There's Al-Qaeda. There's the Islamic Jihad. That's these are the operational agents of the threat doctrine Mark was just explaining that serves as the fundamental foundation for the jihad worldwide with the intent to establish a Islamic government, a caliphate that will implement Islamic law, Sharia.
It's quite simple.
It's really quite simple, but your answer in Boston is, we're strong. We're Boston strong. Well, how about if we show you the threat doctrine? Now watch this.
How about if you blow us up and then a couple of days later we'll all be back eating our hamburgers and going about our daily lives as if nothing ever happened.
As if nothing happened.
And scratching our heads and wondering, why does anybody hate us
And
or
we're
want to hurt
resilient.
us?
Well, look,
Yeah.
go back to the screen, Mike. Then we wrote on this email, Northeastern liberal elites are scratching their heads asking, what's going on? Why do Muslims attack us as they attend interfaith meetings funded by Saudi's jihad maestro, Prince Alawid bin Talal? He gave $20 million to Harvard to fund a chair there that teaches Islamic sensitivity and Islamic interfaith activity to Harvard graduates. Why do you pick Harvard?
Gee, I wonder if they're going to have, those graduates will have any influence in the government after they graduate.
When it comes to, keep watching on your screen, and you driving over there, we're reading it for you. When it comes to Islamic Jihad, just how stupid can smart people be? And we have a picture of President Obama.
Well, is he the smart person or the stupid person?
Well, take your
He's the
choice.
smartest president we've ever had. The smartest.
We have heard that once or twice. We have heard
Why
that.
are you laughing? He's brilliant. Just ask anyone.
Just ask him.
I don't know how many schmucky, I don't know how many meetings I've been in with your co-religionists, your fellow tribe members.
Yes.
But maybe on the left side of the political agenda that have not said that as nicely as you have screamed that at me when I took issue with President Obama.
I don't scream at you, Trento.
Okay.
I just think you're nuts.
Okay. But in the few remaining moments we have, let's all become psychiatrists, psychologists here.
I thought you were going to say psychotic.
Psychotic.
Let's all become psychotic.
You got a
for the
very
last few
intelligent
minutes of the show.
president. I mean, he's an intelligent guy. You got
Well, he knows how to play the system, that's for sure.
you got brilliant people up in the Northeast. You got brilliant people in Boston, and their response to an attack by Islamic jihadis is, "We're strong." Why? Have you heard anybody say, "What the hell is going on?" What is behind the attack? What is the motivation? What is happening here?
It was the Caucasians.
Oh, they're from the Caucasian part
They're
of
from
Russia.
the Caucasus, so they were Caucasian. The Islam has nothing to do with this.
That's right.
Okay. What about the mothers screaming Allahu Akbar, saying, "I'll let my other son die"?
That's another
Yeah, as
issue.
she leaves the
Hold on.
country.
Well,
As she leaves the country, I
Hold on.
notice she's not shouting it
You're
in
speaking
Boston.
of the bomb mom, no?
Bomb
Bomb
mom.
The
mom.
bomb mom, yes.
Yeah.
Very good woman.
Real quick about the bomb mom. She is not crazy. She is following, once again, Islamic doctrine.
Well,
Her
I don't know.
kids-
She may be crazy.
No, actually, I could disagree with you 100% because her sons have given her the 72 virgins for herself and the 10 virginal boys in the rivers of milk. She is now
The
forever.
what? Wait a minute. Explain this to me.
She gets the, don't go straight to heaven pass because her son died in jihad.
Mm-hmm.
If a mother's son dies in jihad, she immediately gets
the next one.
she immediately gets
Candy crown.
the grand prize. This is how they think. This is how the Islamic jihadist mindset thinks.
She's been a loser basically, and
Her whole life.
Now she is a
martyr.
Star.
she's a star,
In
a
Islamic
shaheed.
world.
She has a shaheed already, and the second one is going to be a
shaheed,
living shaheed, a living martyr.
And she's idolized in the Islamic world.
Now watch how a distinguished Very professional, very highly experienced reporter, journalist, investigative journalist, Candy Crowley. Handles a little talk show Sunday morning. You got that little tape ready for us?
Full screen, Damon. Full screen.
Go ahead.
Full screen.
Watch this and watch her apologize for using the word Islam.
A different way, and that is that first of all, we know that both the CIA and the FBI were told by Russia, their counterparts, you got to look at this guy. We think he's been radicalized. We think he's a terrorist. Then we have the fact that up came these, at some point after a trip to Russia and before it, up came Islamic video, terrorist videos on his website.
Play that over again.
And
I don't think Candy
his name.
is happy about the profile shot on these cameras here in red. Look at her. Look at it. Shoof. Watch where she uses the word Islamic
on
videos.
His website, and people think, well, wait, we had his name. At least one department, Homeland Security, I believe, knew he had either come or gone to Russia, and he's putting up, in praise of terrorism. Why in the world
it was before
didn't
this.
anybody think, oh, wait, the fact that up
All right,
came
just cut it. You
these
can
at
cut
some
it,
point
'cause we only got
after
a
a
couple
trip
of
to
minutes.
Russia and before it.
Candy
up
Crowley
came
is laying out the topic for discussion, and she says he was putting up on his website Islamic videos, and she goes, "Oh, oops, sorry." She apologized and rephrased it, terrorist videos.
Well, that's the second time CNN's done this since this happened, because if you'll remember earlier, about a week and a half ago,
John Scott, I think it was.
Yeah. He was afraid to say person of color.
Yep. Unbelievable. So Boston strong and America strong.
I don't think so.
If your answer to Islamic Jihad is we'll become resilient and we'll rebuild the Trade Tower and Freedom Tower open today. The final pieces were put on, and we're that resilient and that strong. And blow up and maim and kill an 8-year-old kid and chop a bunch of people's legs off, and we're strong and we'll rebuild. If you don't have the will to fight, the passion to kill the enemy that wants to kill you, if you don't have the passion to fight the ideological battles in the academy, if you don't have the passion and desire to fight the money coming out of Saudi Arabia, then wave the white flag, because guess what? Their black flag is going to be flying over your head. That's for sure.
The black flag.
That's
of
for
Al-Qaeda.
sure. So, all right, we got to let her go now. It's been a good day having everybody back together, and
It's good to be back.
got a few seconds. You got anything you want to close with?
No, I just want everybody to watch this week, because we're really going to get into what this jihad is all about in Boston.
We're
It's
gonna
not just in Boston.
Boston, Canada, Israel, Syria. All of this is related. We're going to use Boston as a phenomenal teaching moment, a teaching opportunity.
That's right.
And take your head out of the sand, America, and Boston. Throw your little Boston
Because
strong
picture it in
sign
your
away,
mind.
right?
Boston, Miami, what's next?
Yeah. See ya. Gotta go. Bye.
Thank you.